All right, y'all, so this video was definitely supposed to be a day in the life with the iPad Pro. However, I got it delivered a little bit later than anticipated, so I'm still very much getting acquainted to it. I still figured some of my initial thoughts were sharing, and some of the questions that you all had were definitely worth answering. So I'm gonna do that as we set this up. Now, just looking at these, do you know which one is the new iPad between these two? If you guessed the iPad to the left, then you're right. First off, I can't even begin this without addressing this. So I have the new Magic Keyboard up here, and I somehow managed to get a little oil stain up here. So yeah, that's points off, because I haven't been rough with this. I barely have moved around with it. Now, in terms of what came in the package, I actually unboxed this on Instagram and up here as well. So I'll link that somewhere in the video and down below in the description box. Now, in the package, we got our power adapter. We got a USB-C to USB-C braided cable that also matches the color of the iPad, but they nixed the Apple stickers. I was shocked. Like, I thought, is something wrong with my package? but no, there's nothing wrong with it at all. There's just no Apple stickers. I'm still getting my iPad set up to look the way that I want it to look, but this is where we're at right now. One of the first things I like to make sure that is set up is that my newly downloaded apps go to my app library instead of my home screen. Another thing I like to make sure that I go ahead and turn on is for my app library to show up in my dock. And while I'm in here, another thing that I check to make sure it's turned off is for it to show suggested and recent apps in the dock. To me, it just takes up space. I also like to make sure that I have split view and slide over enabled, and that all of my gestures are turned on. But the OLED, y'all, it is noticeable, I will say, and I like it. I'm here for it. Now, I do wish that I went with the nano texture display, but by the time that I realized my mistake, I had already placed my order. I might return this one for that one, because the nano texture one just has kind of like this matte look, and I prefer that over this, in theory at least. Two things I definitely noticed immediately, or rather three, was the display, how thin the iPad is now, how light it is. Like, it is insane. We're gonna do a comparison against the previous version. And then I don't know if you saw my overview video about the new iPads. One of the things that I'm just thinking right now is like how the iPad Pro is lighter than the new iPad Air. So yeah, I guess you could say Apple really outdid themselves this time. Let's get into this Apple Pencil. We got new packaging. Now, the pencil, it looks pretty much the same as all the previous pencils, but it's what it does and how well it does it that makes it unique. One thing I really want to test out is this new haptic feedback, and let me just show you. All right, the magnet is strong, okay? I gotta like, yank it, okay? It's a little force there. Let's go to notes. Oh, it does the barrel roll. Hold on, where's the toolbar? I felt the haptic feedback. It's very subtle, and you can hover. I like it, it's very responsive. Wait, can y'all see that? Not only does it do this barrel roll, but it has the shadow of whatever kind of pen tool you selected. So like I can see, oh wow, I can see that it's a highlighter. That's dope. Okay, Apple, it's the little details, man, that get you every time. Ooh, fluid. This is about to get me back in my drawing bag. And another thing that the pencil has, y'all, is Find My, which, oh my God, I needed that because it's, ugh. I will say one thing I wish this gave us was better battery life. Like, it's the same battery as before, but I will say the battery life wasn't terrible before. I do like this new space black here. Fingerprint City, like, oh my God. Now, something that I didn't catch at first until one of you all mentioned it is the fact they nixed the wide camera. Who was the person, y'all? Shout out to Have I on the broadcast channel, y'all. But yeah, no ultra wide camera, and I am a big fan of the ultra wide camera. Like, I use it a lot. It's really great for POV shots. But in the same breath, y'all, I'm not really filming with my iPad, so something I wish they had a nixed, but at the same time, I probably won't miss. Sidebar, y'all, we got a new setup, so let me know down below in the comment section what you think. I'm still working it out, but I like what I see from this view, but y'all let me know if you like what you see from your view. Now let's talk about how this stacks up in terms of thinness and weight and all of that with the keyboard against the previous version. Now this is something I have been itching to see. So this is the M4 iPad. Okay, it's still got some weight. I don't know, it also at the same time kind of feels very close in weight to the previous version. If it is a weight difference, I would say that the new M4 is just ever so slightly lighter than the previous iPad Pro with the Magic Keyboard. One thing for me with keyboards and iPads like this is that when it starts to be comparable to the weight and size of my laptop, I'm like, I might as well just take my laptop. Because unless I'm doing something that I need to like use the pencil for and draw, I'm gonna take my laptop if we're already like in the same weight and size as that. At the end of the day, a laptop is a laptop and an iPad is an iPad. There's just certain things the iPad doesn't do quite yet. And WWDC is coming up, so maybe that can change. Now with these keyboards themselves, this is how they look without the iPad in them. This is the new one and this is the previous one. Like, you know, it's a difference in how they've been, but as we saw, they just kind of go back to the same degree once the iPad is in there. You also notice that there's a little difference with the hinge here. So you see the aluminum hinge on the new keyboard, whereas the other one is protected. This little fold here is a little different, as well as the way the Apple logo appears. There's some slight differences between the two. Now outside of the keyboard case, you can feel that this one's a bit lighter, the new M4. All right, now let's take a look at how thin they are against each other. Got the new M4 on the right and the previous version on the left, and it is, yeah, definitely noticeable. All right, now your questions and comments. Marsha4470 says, would love to hear your thoughts on the new iPad keyboards. Overall, I do like the new keyboard. It's noticeably better. I do wish it worked with the previous iPad, but that alone makes the new iPad even more appealing. But I'm enjoying the function row so that I have quicker access to stuff. But the thing that I'm enjoying most with the new keyboard is probably the trackpad. Having a little bit more room to navigate does make a difference. All right, another question I have comes from Marcaru Selvies. I hope I said your name right. 9020. The question is your experience using it outdoors and battery life. Battery life for me, I'm still testing, but it is on paper at least the same as the previous version. I might still do a day in a life video. You know, if y'all want me to, let me know down below in the comments. Now some comments I got in from the broadcast channel, because I did ask everybody after the keynote, you know, some of their thoughts. I know Jay King said, thinness and speed aren't enough because of the OS. WWDC is the key. Seriously though, because WWDC could really shift the way that we're viewing this. Her Elizabeth said, excited but disappointed that the new keyboard doesn't work for older models. I feel you there. Vival Dejeen says, I wish the iPad Pencil Pro worked with the iPad Pro M2. A lot of y'all were commenting that you wish the newer accessories worked with the previous versions, and I am definitely one of those too. Reggie 3000 stated it's very expensive for the way I set up my cart. Okay, Reggie, keep it a buck. The new iPad is definitely up there in price. It kind of gets you to a point where you're asking yourself, do I need an iPad or a laptop? But yeah, y'all, that's gonna do it for this one. These are just a few of my initial thoughts. Until the next one, y'all, as always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.